What's up YouTube? My name is Juniper, or June for short.
And it is only 24 days until Christmas, as of the time this video goes up.
So, as far as like difficulty of classes and stuff, I came out of a medium-sized high school. There were about 2,000 students, and my graduating class had about 500. So we all knew each other fairly well, and I was one of the top students in the class. And so that did a couple of kind of uncomfortable things. What wound up happening was all of those top students wound up all together in all of their classes because there was like only one teacher who would run the highest level of each course. So we would wind up all together and we all knew what each other got for grades, and we all knew where we were in like the top 10 and how high each other's GPAs were. And it was just a really fierce, almost competition. Even though I considered most of them to be pretty good friends of mine, there was still so much tension and competition between us to actually get those high-class placements so that we could get scholarships and get into the best colleges and stuff like that. And the environment is totally different here because, as I mentioned before, I'm probably never going to take classes with a bunch of these students again. And realistically, I'm not competing with anyone. You know, I don't need to worry about getting accepted to the best college after college because I'm in college right now. Like, there is graduate school, but it's a lot less focused on where I rank among my peers and more about my individual achievement, which is a really, really comfortable thing for me. It's really so much better to not have to worry about how the person next to me is doing, because if they do better than me, then, oh gosh, I'm gonna lose all of my scholarships and this college and that college won't accept me. And that's really, really nice. So I would say my first semester has definitely been a lot easier, at least in part because there isn't nearly as much stress coming out of the people that I'm with. You know, I had so much stress in high school, focused so specifically on, not even on the classes, but on how my peers were doing and how I was doing relative to them. So a solid quarter or a third of the stress that I was having throughout high school wasn't even from the school, it was from the people around me. And I think getting out of that environment has been really, really good and really, really healthy for me. Outside of that, I think my classes are easier than my high school was. And that's probably for a couple of reasons. A lot of my classes right now are gen eds. So they're classes that I need to be taking in order to, get a degree here at the college. So, my introductory chem class and my gen psych class aren't particularly difficult. And that's just because everybody, no matter what they're here for, can and sort of has to be taking these classes. Whereas back in high school, I was taking the hardest level of all of the classes because they were like, you gotta get ready for college, and I was getting AP credits and stuff like that. And the level of work that I need to be putting in, like the level of focus I need to have at each and every class is a lot lower, which is very, very nice. So I'm actually able to sort of sit down in class and focus on learning and just absorbing what I can, as opposed to worrying about things like, what am I going to get on this test? What's the test grade? And like, I know a lot of students are more worried about the test grades, but typically, if I know the content, I'm going to do fine on the test, so I'm not super worried about the grades as long as I keep my GPA in a decent place. That's pretty much all there is as far as the university itself goes.